In this video, I will tell you why my Mythic Nighthold guild broke up, disbanded, and why I quit raiding along with them. Possibly until Tomb of Sargeras. Only possibly, though. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another World of Warcraft gameplay video, vlog video. Don't worry, this is a gaming channel. I am Token Fanatic. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back. If you're new, welcome for the first time. Don't worry, this is a gaming channel, but this is a vlog on why I quit raiding. I have been raiding with my shaman since about 2006. I played him in Vanilla, I raided in Burning Crusade, I raided in Wrath of the Lich King. I also played a rogue and I raided with the rogue in Burning Crusade. And then I raided again in Mists of Pandaria. That was the last time I raided anything, and that was with my shaman. The requirements for raiding Mythic Nighthold included many chores that grew very stale and got very tedious, and they made the game feel more like a job, and it required more commitment like a job than a game. A lot of veterans of raiding, a lot of veterans of WoW who've been playing since Grand Marshal, since Vanilla, a lot of veterans that raided in Vanilla, you know that you take breaks from the game. The game can get very stale and tedious, and you can take breaks. You can even cancel your subscription. I've canceled my subscription many times, but every time I resubscribed and came back to the game, it did feel right. But there is nothing wrong with saving $15 a month for a while. There's nothing wrong with taking a break. So one of the requirements that was really simple, but something you had to keep on top of, was leveling your artifact knowledge level to its max. Leveling it every week or every few days, every time it popped up, with 500 order resources. You would have to do this until level 40 now. They decreased the level, but it was something, you know, it felt like a chore. One of the big farms you had to partake in, one of the big farming things you did, was farming artifact power, to power up your artifact weapon. Artifact power. To Blizzard's credit, there are many ways you can farm artifact power. There are many ways you can farm it. It's great. It's very accessible to get artifact power, very accessible, easy. Any 110 can do it, even 100 to 110, you get a little bit here and there. But once you get your artifact knowledge level up at 110, it's very easy to get it. There are a variety of ways to get artifact power. You can do world quests. You can do 4 world quests towards a faction to get the emissary cache, that little bonus when you do 4 per faction. You can farm mythic pluses for artifact power. You can do raid finder. You can do your daily dungeon if you're a tank or a healer. You can get a call to action with a little extra bonus artifact power. There are also follower missions where if you have a 200% success chance, you have a 100% bonus roll, you can get even more artifact power from the follower missions. So there are a variety of ways. Even now with the Broken Shore, those world quests give you artifact power. If you do Breaching the Tomb, the achievement, you can get even more artifact power from some of those quests. Farming artifact power did make you feel the grind, hardcore grind. It was, because a lot of the ways you farm artifact power, those ways only yield artifact power, and they don't really give you gear or other materials for raiding. They don't really give you gear, especially if you're already raiding on a regular basis. You have Heroic Nighthold on farm. If you have Heroic Nighthold on farm, farming artifact power, unless it's like a mythic plus 10 or double-digit mythic dungeon, you're not really gonna... Those ways to farm artifact power aren't really yielding anything else but artifact power. So it kind of feels tedious. It feels really tedious, and it grows old really quickly. It did for me. So there are a lot of materials you want for raiding. There are a lot of materials you need for raiding, 2 of which are food and flasks. I was spending about 6,000 gold a week on flasks alone for 3 nights of raiding a week. They give you 1,300 points in a stat. You also want food, and you want more than 1 stack of 20 food. You probably want 3 to 4 stacks for the week of raiding. and it should be 375 and a secondary stat food. Otherwise, somebody puts down a feast for the whole raid and gives you 500 in your primary stat. You want that for Mythic Nighthold. You probably want that for Heroic Nighthold if you're under geared, or you want every edge possible and you want to go quickly without wiping over and over. So you want the flasks. I spent about 6k gold a week on those, and then you want 3 to 4 stacks of 375 food. So to Blizzard's credit, again, there are plenty of ways to farm that gold. There are plenty of ways to get the gold. I got mine every few days. The follower missions would give you gold, and if you got 200% success rate on the follower missions, which would be a 100% bonus roll, that would give you 1500 gold bonus in addition to the original amount for the mission. So that's pretty good. Also, bind on equip items, BOEs. Some of them that drop in Mythic Nighthold can go for hundreds of thousands of gold, especially if they're Titan Forged or War Forged, if they're upgraded, if they have a socket, whatever. So look out for those. Those are a great way to earn gold. You better have the right secondary stats for your class and for your spec. It takes a while. It takes a while to tune your secondary stats. Mastery, crit, haste, verse. It takes a while to tune the secondary stats, but you do want the correct gems and enchants. You want all the max level enchants on your items. That goes without saying. A lot of this stuff is kind of common knowledge, but these are just the requirements that made it less fun. That's the whole point of this video, is why I quit. You know, I'm listing all of the things that you had to keep up with. So you also want artifact relics. You want the right artifact relics for your artifact weapons, so you could end up farming a Mythic Plus dungeon that gives you the right item level. You don't want to downgrade, but it also gives you the right trait upgrade in your artifact weapon. So you could end up farming a Mythic Plus dungeon over and over and over until the right artifact relic dropped. The most important part of raiding is the mechanics of the fight. All 3 phases or more of the fight. The boss mechanics. How are you going to react? What is your strategy for the group? You can't just let it happen. How are you going to react? You have to time your healing cooldowns. You have to time your DPS cooldowns. If you're min-maxing or whatever, you pop all your cooldowns at the beginning in the hopes that you get to use them more often throughout the fight. So my raid progress ended when our guild, killed Mythic Croesus. We were 4 out of 10, and it felt pretty good. The feeling didn't last long though. We had to be pulling at least 600,000 DPS on Croesus, probably more. We had some people carrying. So everyone was above 600,000 K. I wasn't on the bottom. I was an elemental shaman, so mobility was an issue, but I was glad I wasn't on the bottom. It felt good enough to not be last on DPS. It felt good enough. Didn't have to be first. But we finally killed Mythic Croesus after maybe a whole week of wiping on him. Maybe 2.5, 3 nights of wiping on Mythic Croesus. We barely beat the timer on Croesus. We were on the last portion of the walkway, the bridge, obviously. And I think we were less than a minute away from wiping completely due to the enrage timer or the last portion of the walkway being destroyed completely. So we were under a minute away from the fight ending and us wiping. So it almost felt not worth it. So I'd like to hear from you guys in the comments. What has your raiding experience been like throughout the whole history of WoW? What is your experience like now in the Legion expansion? And what is your experience in the largest content patch in the history of the World of Warcraft? Patch 7.2, Tomb of Sargeras. What is your raiding experience like? Is it joyless? Is it tedious? Is it stale for you? Did you cancel your subscription? If you didn't, why or why not? Let me know. Is it still fun for you? Are you still embracing the grind? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. That's the whole point of this video. Anyone that watches, thank you. Stay tuned for a lot more content on this channel. Stay tuned for a lot more Blizzard games, World of Warcraft videos, some E3 coverage, gaming news coverage. Stay tuned. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I will see you later.